Superintendent of Jackson Public Schools, Jeff Beal. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fabulous. What a wonderful day.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to be with us on your busiest month of the year.
Just about. Between now and June 30th, as we get our budget put together, as we get a variety of different things around, it is without a doubt the jammin' busy time of year.
All right, well, we'll talk about all the things happening this month, but first we want to put something on everyone's mind that's happening later this summer, and that is a request that will be on the ballot.
Yeah, so there are actually two requests on the ballot in August, and so I know folks are going to be getting absentee ballot or their mail-in ballot, relatively soon, as early as June something. I don't want to get the dates wrong, but look for those in the mail. There's a couple pieces that are very, very important to us, and try to explain some of this. The very first one is our operating millage. So we collect an operating millage up to 18 mills on non-homestead properties, businesses. It does not impact your primary residence. So I just need everybody to be aware of that. It doesn't impact your primary residence. And we can never collect more than the 18 mills. So while we always ask for more than 18, that way we're allowed to kind of trickle it down or be impacted if the property taxes change. We never can collect more than 18. Here's the caveat to that. If we don't collect it, if we don't pass this millage, then what happens is when the levy falls below 18 mills, we don't get the full foundation allowance, because everybody says, well, the state will just pay that difference. Well, the state assumes that we get that 18 mills, and so if we don't, then the state just sends their share and says, tough luck, Jackson. And so it's very vital that we do this. It's one of those pieces that will not impact the residents in our community. This is really one of those business pieces that has been there, and we're not asking for any more money than we've ever asked before. So this will again allow us to kind of move forward with our piece, and if we don't pass it, we're going to be right back at it again. It's one of those pieces you have to have in place, and we've done really well with the community. I'll be out talking about it. I'll make certain everybody understands kind of how these funds, especially at our June board meeting where we do the budget, how these funds tie into the state aid. So when we get that dollar package from the state, the state funds so much per pupil. Well, they count on a chunk of that money per pupil coming from local dollars, and so that's the piece that we're talking about, and it's vital that we do our part. Otherwise, students in Jackson will be at a disadvantage over everybody else.
All right, so no increase in taxes, and if it doesn't pass, no decrease in taxes either.
No decrease in taxes, that's for certain. And the biggest piece for us is those dollars. They fund all of the things that we do at the school. It's really an operating millage, and it's this way every school district in the state of Michigan. This isn't something that's unique to Jackson. So there isn't a district in our county that's not operating this way, and there's not a district in the state, because that's how the pupil accounting, that's how funding comes into local schools. It's part of it's the state dollars, and part of it is local taxes. And so what we see is those dollars flow in from local share, and if they don't come in from local share, again, the state's still only going to send their piece, so they're not going to send any more. It's really going to be, we'll be operating at a deficit at that point.
Right, and the other thing on the ballot?
The other thing on the ballot is one, and I got to get Kelly Hoover down here with me, is the Parks and Rec Millage, and that is a partnership with JPS. So it's going to show JPS, and if you looked at your tax bill, you're going to see JPS on there a couple of times. And the Parks and Rec Millage that we've run for a long, long time with them, and this is 100% just a pass-through. So we act as the fiduciary. We collect the taxes on it, and then we send those dollars down to the city, and Kelly Hoover and the city of Jackson runs that, uses those dollars to run our Parks and Recreation Department. So they are currently sitting at 0.75 or 0.5 mils, and they are asking for a slight increase. They're asking to go up to 0.75 mils, and the largest part of that is inflation of costs, just to be able to keep up the parks, but also to pay the wages of everybody that's doing the work that runs our our parks, that cleans up our parks, all of the things that goes into to that, and really makes Jackson such a phenomenal place to be. When you think about the trails that we ride and the parks that our kids use and the programming that our kids have, that year-round opportunity to do parks and recreation, those are pieces that are funded through this program, through this millage, and we want to continue to support them. I've been a huge fan of it. I think our kids benefit from it. And, if you want to see an opportunity where kids truly get involved, something for everybody, no matter who you are, where you are, Parks and Rec is really where it's at.
All right, August 6th.
Yep.
That'll be the election day. All right, every kid in school knows the answer to this question. Let's see if you do. How many more days of school?
Hey, we are down to, ready kids? 15 more days of school. It's one of those kind of fun feelings, right? As we get to the end, and I'm every bit as excited in August, like get me back to the kids, and at the same time, right now, everybody's like, okay, we can do the next 15 days, and we're 15 days, and it's going to go by in a blur, right? I mean, seniors are out, and we're going to have a whole host of senior activities coming up, and so some good things happening that way too.
Yeah, and everyone graduates on the same day, and that is coming up on
a week from Friday. So yeah, that's coming up, and so there's at 1 o'clock you've got Pathways and SCMV are graduating. So if you've got a student at one of those two programs, that's at 1 o'clock, and then Jackson High School is at 6 p.m. that night. We are right now watching the weather because we have a rain delay date for Saturday, but I feel like every year for commencement we're watching the weather because it is just the month of May the way it works out. But we very much want to get everybody across the stage right down there on Withington Stadium on Dungy Field. That's such a great venue for this, and so yeah, we're very much hoping for that. But you think about what we got next week. You got baccalaureate for the kids as a whole student-run initiative. You got honors awards on Thursday. You got graduation on Friday. Somewhere in the middle of all that, there's our seniors get out and visit. They do a walk through the entire district. They visit their elementary schools. They see their teachers that helped get them to this point. I mean, it's a fun time of year for everybody.
Neat. All right, some honors for some of your teachers. We've got the top teacher awards announced last week. We knew about Ray earlier this year, but you've got 3.
Yeah. Ray Savicki, we say this because he's got his hands. He is one of those people who is always in everything. He loves what he does, and if you want to find somebody who works all the time, who really just kind of goes over and above for our kids, he's phenomenal and obviously well deserving of the top teacher of the year. Amanda Miller over at Sharp Park. Again, my niece and nephew have been in her class. I've been in her class several times. You want to see somebody get up and like she is up and moving. She is singing and dancing. The kids are active and moving, and what a phenomenal teacher. You just can't miss. And then every one of my kids that has gone through the high schools end up in Teresa Double's math class. There is hardly a better teacher anywhere, and I'll just stop and say that, for teaching math. And she knows how to make it real for kids. She knows how to connect the dots with kids. So all of the pieces that really go in, you think about this, we've got top teachers at all levels, and I've got great teachers throughout the building. It is wonderful. I want to thank Jackson Magazine. I want to thank all those folks who kind of wrote in and support, because these 3 are well deserving. They really do, each of them in their own way, go over and above for kids every day, every year. They show up, and that you just can't say enough about. Believe the hype, they are fabulous.
And you have some teachers who are benefiting from some mini grants that are in honor of one of
Sandra Maher, former teacher administrator in JPS. We give out grants every year, so without a doubt, Angie Turner and Barb Holsey, they're from Northeast. They're doing a novels project with the kids, so they do this after-school reading group with novels. Everything here is going to be very much based around literacy, and so a nice little mini grant to help get them going and give them some funds to run their program. We also have Kevin Bristol and Maureen Heiler. They're over at Sharp Park. They're also doing a literacy project. And ironically, they're also tying their literacy into pickleball, which is another one of those growing things our kids are into. So, as the community grows, as this activity becomes popular, there's Kevin and Maureen, and they're jumping into that.
Have you played yet?
Have I played yet? I have not. Apparently, I need to get out and play some pickleball. And then Christina Sanchez over at Sharp Park as well, and she's our world language teacher over there. Again, a literacy project for her. Get some additional materials so that she can do some fun things with her kids as well. So I want to thank the Sandra Maher for that donation, obviously, and what that means to us, moving forward. It's just one of those pieces. It's hard to thank folks, and when they can write these grants and be able to see the dollars come in and do some projects, some real world things with their kids, that's vital to us. So super thankful for that.
All right, we've got elementary school days, we've got athletics, the teams are still playing and they'll go right into June. And here's what we've got coming up this week. Wow, busy day today and tomorrow.
Baseball, soccer, tennis. Pay attention to lacrosse if you haven't been down to see lacrosse. We're playing at home over on the Lumen Christie Field. Remember, Lumen is part of our club, our lacrosse club that we have right now. It's a club sport today. It'll be, we talk about what does that look like as a varsity sport moving forward, and it's a multi-team, multi-school effort to fill that out. And but it's gaining a lot of attention, and we've got a lot of supporters, so we are very happy to be sponsors of that and be able to help run that program too. All
right, and are you going to be doing the three-legged race or the sack race?
At Field Day?
Yeah.
No, they've got, you have not seen Field Day if you haven't been down there. They've got stations that run around the entire stadium. So we do this over at Withington. We bring everybody up. They're all down on Dungy Field. They got music and everything through the PA, and the teachers have got it down. I'm lucky if I go down there if I don't get dumped on with a water sponge or a bucket of water or something like that. They are fabulous. It's not the old the old Field Day where we run around the playground and you get a blue ribbon at the end. This is something that's really pretty special. It's a great day, a fun event to help build Vikings, and we get high school kids that'll come out and volunteer to help manage the groups and work with the groups. A lot of parents show up to watch the event, take pictures, that kind of thing. It's a really, really good time, and a nice way for our elementary schools to kind of cap off the day.
All right, check it out. Congratulations to the Jackson class of 2024. Jeff, great to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Jeff Beal, Jackson Public Schools Superintendent.